And Carolina is fascinating at 8 because are they actually going to take a quarterback? And the information I got was they're looking at Sam Darnold as a 2-year project and possibly kind of a stopgap to make sure that they upgrade their quarterback spot. They have a 2-year contract on him. It's only $5 million, I think, around there in terms of what the cap hit is for Darnold. And then you bring in a Fields if that's the decision they try to make, and you develop him on the back end and get him ready and make sure that your organization's set for 10 years moving forward. So that's going to be another. We talked about trigger points. 3 with San Fran. Which quarterback do they go with? 4 with Atlanta. Do they go quarterback or Pitts? This is the next most intriguing pick to me because I think Carolina at 8 could go in a number of different directions. They also need cornerback help and offensive line help. So getting a team to move up to them ahead of Denver would make a lot of sense.
Hey, Mel, can I ask you about the idea of drafting Justin Fields? And then I know people want to hear your guys' opinions, but I'd like to maybe throw a final word in there on some of my thoughts on the idea of Carolina taking Justin Fields 8 after just trading for Sam Darnold. What do you think?
I'll tell you what, Josh Rosen and Sam Darnold came out the same year, and both have been dealt some bad hand. I mean, if that's the case, because you go from the Jets, who are now starting to build up their personnel, and they trade you to Carolina. Now Carolina gets you. They're starting to have an opportunity here at 8 to get you a receiver, right? They're going to get you a wideout or an offensive lineman like Slater to be the left tackle from Northwestern, or Devontae Smith or a Jaylen Waddle. They're going to say, "Oh, we're going to take Justin Fields." Okay, Sam, thanks for being here, but we're not going to help you. We're going to get maybe the guy that can compete with you. So again, Josh Rosen, Arizona, Miami got dealt a bad hand. Sam Darnold, if that's the case, Field, to answer your question, I don't think it's not about fairness.
It makes no sense, Mel.
Thank you.
It makes no sense. I don't see it at all. It's just what I'm hearing.
It makes sense if you don't believe in Sam Darnold.
Right. So then why do you trade? Why do you trade for a 23-year-old quarterback and think that he can be an upgrade and then completely, like, you have to have confidence as a quarterback. You've got to know that the organization is behind you. And Sam has been through enough, man. I mean, he has been through that offense.
Oh, man.
Sucked
Fields
with the Jets. About this one, I can tell.
No, well, we actually all see it the same way. And so Todd, by the way, Todd was not agreeing with the assessment or the idea of
this is just what I'm hearing.
Fields. He was just offering up intel, and we all see it the same way.
And Peter Schrager came on with us last week and said he thinks the Fields could go there at 8. And he was on TV with us, and Peter said 8 to the Fields. Don't count that out. I guess we always talk about Steve Walsh was brought in when Troy Aikman was there, okay, in Dallas. And Troy Aikman was having a battle because Steve Walsh had a pretty good preseason. They were all saying, Steve Walsh moves this team better than Troy Aikman does. So everybody has to deal with competition. That's how do you deal with it. If Sam comes in and say, okay, you want to bring him in? I'll beat him out. And if whoever wins that battle in the NFL where you've got to have that great young quarterback, I'm just playing devil's advocate here with both of you. Wouldn't it be like a win-win? If one guy emerges as great, that's the most important position. I wouldn't do it. I think Sam 3 years ago, a 23-year-old quarterback was talked about like he was going to be a franchise quarterback. I would say to you guys, or say to everybody out there that hates Sam Darnold, and I like Josh better, but I still like Sam. What has he done in New York to show that he can't get it done in the NFL?
Well, I
he
hear
didn't have a
saying.
chance.
That's the thing. Is that right? Yeah, exactly. It's not what he has shown. It's perhaps what he hasn't had the opportunity to do. And my thinking is that if you're going to justify a Sam Darnold trade, which involved 3 picks going from Carolina to New York, that part of your mindset is we are going to actively keep every card available that we can play to make Sam better. Drafting Justin Fields has Sam swimming upstream once again. I like the idea of having good quarterbacks on your roster because they're valuable. Not in this circumstance. I think the Carolina Panthers should be looking elsewhere. So let's keep it there then, Todd. I'll ask you, assuming they don't go quarterback because we think it's maybe bad business, where should they be looking to pick 8 and beyond?
Offensive line, cornerback are probably 2 of the biggest positions of need. I would say wide receiver, safety are beyond that. But offensive line at this point, if they don't move back and Penei Sewell goes to Cincinnati at 5, I think Rashawn Slater who to me it's like 1 and 1A in my opinion. They're different players, but Sewell from Oregon, Slater from Northwestern are both going to be really good starting left tackles in the league. So I would just hang tight at 8 if I can't get a great deal, and if I'm not told by ownership or wherever it's coming from that I have to take a quarterback here, and I would take Slater.
Hey, at least we know one thing. They're not going to go all defense again after using literally every pick on defense
That's
last
going to
year,
be
the first time any team.
And
you could go Jaylen Waddle here if Waddle's still available as well.
Oh yeah, or Devontae Smith. Right,
Jaylen either Waddle.
one. DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson's contracts are up after this year. They're going to get one of them back, not both of them. So there's a strong argument. They want all defense. This is going to be an offensive draft. Don't make no mistake. This is about either Slater or Sewell or one of those wide receivers if it's not the quarterback. So
right,
I'm
starting to get annoyed as we're just talking about it. Like learn from past mistakes, right?
Don't do it.
Look what Sam went through with the Jets. Like, give me one big time playmaker that he ever had to play with any consistency. He didn't. And so bring him in and let's use this pick either to protect him or to support him with a playmaker.
I completely agree on that.